Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, and salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson is going to be entitled The Entail of World War III. My source is rt.com, and this article is entitled Tehran Ready for Possibility of War with United States, but hopes for dialogue. Iran's deputy foreign minister, published on May 29, 2019, and it states Iran is prepared for the possibility of war with the United States, but hopes instead the tensions between the two nations can be solved with dialogue, the country's deputy foreign minister has said. We hope that we can start a dialogue, but we are ready for war. Deputy Foreign Minister Abbas Arachi told RIA Novosti. He stressed that Iran was aware of certain elements within the U.S. government pushing for war with Iran, even though such a conflict would be catastrophic for the entire Middle East. We know that there are certain elements and people who are trying to push the U.S. to war with Iran for their own ends. However, we hope that wisdom will prevail in Washington, he said. We are absolutely for this scenario, and I believe that they are aware of our capabilities in this regard, but this is not what we want. We are in favor of peace. Tehran has repeatedly warned the U.S. provoking a conflict, stating that Iran was not intimidated by Washington's increasingly hostile rhetoric and military posturing. However, Tehran has always maintained that it does not seek war. In an effort to de-escalate the situation, Iran has sought dialogue with its neighbors. Speaking with Qatar's foreign minister in Doha on Tuesday, Arachi expressed his country's readiness to enter into a dialogue between the Gulf states and Iran regarding the stability and security of the region. Revelation 16 and 15. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and we are in the time frame of the sixth angel, and the water thereof was dried up, that that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Now, this is the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is the intel of World War III. Okay? So why is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, okay, preparing the way of the kings of the east? For what purpose? Joel 3 and 2. I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Now that I is referring to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? So when we go back to Revelation 16 and 12, the latter part of the verse, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. The purpose of these militaries going into the valley of Jehoshaphat is for judgment, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. When you go into that Hebrew term for plead, it's actually judge. So these nations will be judged in the valley of Jehoshaphat, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Okay? So these major superpowers such as Russia and its allies, as well as United States and its allies, will be judged in the valley of Jehoshaphat. This is the reason why everything is heating up in the Middle East. Okay? Another point, 2nd Ezra 13 and 8. And after this I beheld. Now that I is referring to Ezra. Okay? He was in the spirit. He's actually prophesying. And lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid. And that they which were gathered together is referring to these military mights in the valley of Jehoshaphat to subdue him. The him is referring to Yahushua. Were sore afraid, because when they see the presence of Yahushua and the holy angels within those chariots, they will be scared. And yet there's fight. And the reason why they will still fight, because the Most High is going to place that spirit upon them to fight and be destroyed. And lo, as he saw the balance, and that he is referring to Yahushua, and lo, as he saw the balance of the multitude, the military might within the valley of Jehoshaphat, that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Now this is symbolic talk of laser beams leaving the chariots. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, these militaries within the valley of Jehoshaphat, which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one. So anybody, within that region will be destroyed. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and a smell of and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Which brings me to the last scripture. Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third cometh quickly. All right, and we are in this time frame, one of two major prophecies. Okay, World War III, and the second major prophecy is the microchip being manifested on a large scale, where you have to take the chip or die. Lord willing, you are edified. Shalom.